apologize if the camera is crooked because it looks crooked and I thought it was okay and apparently it's not. So, because now I can see a line that gives me a horizon. And let's see. There we go. Let's see if I can lock it into place. Good. All right. So, I will keep this as brief as possible because, well, I need to. Because if I don't, well, let me just talk. So, I did want to talk about some audio news first. We are, I'll just say, living in the best age of audio engineering ever. It's never been more affordable to get high quality sound recorded, and it's never been more affordable to manipulate that sound into a quality whatever signal, we'll say. And I love it. I love it. But the problem is there's a larger thing at play here, something that is threatening to take that positivity away. I was feeling so good, with the exception of my health. Um, the year 2019, 2020 to an extent. Well, not the whole year, but I'll just say from like 2018 to 2019, things were going in a positive direction. And well, let's just say things happened, and that's no longer the case. I find myself hard to focus on things because of what's going on around us right now. I find myself unmotivated to do anything except counteract the narrative that's out there, to counteract what they are labeling as misinformation. And my whole problem with so-called fact checkers, and that doesn't just end, by the way, with what I'm talking about. In the audio engineering community, there's a lot of people out there who spread BS, who do spread misinformation, and now because they have such large platforms, they it's difficult to go after them other than to tag them in video titles and get them mad at me. And that's only because I have over 10,000 subscribers thanks to you guys. I have the ability to do that. But I haven't really done it because a lot of people are like, "Oh, sour grapes, Adam. You're just jealous that those people have more subscribers and more views than you." So I don't do it. Let the misinformation sit as it lay. But misinformation about audio is nothing compared to what's going on right now. And I've recently received a ban off of, we'll just say, maybe the same platform as what we're talking, how I'm live streaming to you guys right now. And they gave me this ban because I read an official government document. Yeah. And showed it on screen. That's it. I appealed this. I still have not received an appeal notification that a human watched the video. It's a short video. It's about less than 2 minutes long, so it's not something like where they have to sit through an hour and watch it. But regardless, that type of thing, it really gets to you because you're like, all I'm trying to do is make the world a better place. All I'm trying to do is inform the public of what people who own satellites and can broadcast their message because they have millions, maybe billions of dollars to do so. I don't have that. I'm lucky I have this $700 smartphone. I'm lucky I have the camera I have that makes me money. I'm lucky I have the microphones that make me money and other things. But the bottom line is I don't have the same resources, the capital, as it were, the money to get the message out there like they can. And that's because I'm one of the good people. I consider myself one of the good guys. I want the information out there. And guess what? When you don't play ball, even in the audio community, guess what happens? They stop talking to you. If I had sponsors, they would stop sponsoring me. That's why I don't like to do that. Even when it was just for the good of other people, I didn't like knowing that some of these companies knew where I lived. That's why I kept secret for so long. And then I'm like, okay, well, I do want to try out some new things, maybe ahead of time before everybody else does. So you kind of have to give in to the privacy, and let your privacy be out there a little bit. But I haven't done that in a while. And it's only to companies. It's like, hey, if they have a good product, I trust that they have a good product. I'm obviously not going to like badmouth them much, but they don't restrict me from what I say. I've always made that a rule. And unfortunately, if you tell the truth, a lot of times they'll stop sending you things or stop. Again, they won't sponsor you. So it's like a lot of people take the money. They take the money and they shut up. The world would be a better place if it weren't for greed. But that's where we live today. And there's things I can't say because, again, I'm afraid that this live stream will be misinterpreted. Maybe somebody will flag it. Who cares? Or what? Not who cares, but who knows? Who knows what will happen? So I have to be very careful with the way I word things to avoid having this channel suspended for a week, because that did happen to me. It happened to me. I couldn't believe it. I made a whole video about my experience last year when I came down with the you know what, and but I was very careful with my words there. But I made another video that had it was a smaller video, and guess what? It didn't get me a ban, but it got me a community guideline strike is what they're called. So and by the way, you can't get rid of those. They're permanent. So every time you break the so-called community guidelines, you do get a 7-day ban, and then I believe it's a 3-month. It lasts for 3 months. Let me think about that. Yeah, 3 months, and then that's when that goes away. Now, if you break another one, it's a 2-week. You can't upload for 2 weeks. And because there's so many videos being uploaded to YouTube, they rely on artificial intelligence and machine learning to do their moderation. That's a mistake. Um, you know, and I would say outsourcing to English speaking countries, but ones who don't understand like sarcasm, or ones who don't understand like I guess context is the best way to put that. So people who, although they speak English, it may not be their first language, and they're the ones moderating these videos. I'm talking about India, by the way. Yes, from my understanding, YouTube does. I can't even say that out loud. Never mind. But I'll just say this: when YouTube was looking for more people to be moderators, I looked for the job postings. I couldn't find them. This was years ago. So I wanted to make YouTube a better place. Oh, forgot about the air conditioner. Hold on, guys. I'll be back in a second. Ooh. I should have looked at some audio news to talk more about that, but the thing on my chest right now has nothing to do with that. I don't want to say I'm at my wit's end, but I'm getting there. I'm getting to the point. I'm probably going to move out of the state that I live in because I'm tired of the way the governor has treated the people where I live. I mean, I've had police come to my house because the governor took my words as a threat. I'm serious when I say this. Instead of being a man and addressing the concerns of the people that voted for him, I mean even the people that didn't vote for him, instead of manning up and answering our questions, addressing our concerns, he sends the police to my house because he perceived some of my words as a threat. That's where we're at today, folks. That's where we're at. The guy is a bully. He wants to control people. And I had to tell this guy, and I've said to him over, online, but of course, I don't think he reads through his comments, although he did respond to a few people. I'm not sure if it's him or somebody else. But anyway, he's been kept away from the public. I've been very close. He was supposed to go to this public event. He didn't show up. I was this close this close to being able to say something to the governor of my state. And unfortunately, he backed out. I don't know if it was at the last minute, but regardless, this guy's been cowering away, and it has caused me to be very, we'll just say, belligerent towards the bullies. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, because forcing somebody to do something against their will is not cool. It's coercion. And it's something that you wouldn't take from a regular everyday Joe or Jane on the street. So why take it from somebody who's a millionaire? Why take it from somebody who wouldn't take you telling them what to do? Who wouldn't take you forcing them to do something? Absolutely not. So that's where I'm at in this day and age. And that is why I really haven't been able to upload too many videos, because my focus has been on something that I consider, and this is not an offense to audio engineering or the audio community, but there are bigger powers at play that affect all of us, not just people in audio. And you better believe, if this was audio related, I'd be 10 times louder. If you had somebody, let's say, forcing you to, I don't know, buy a certain brand, or forcing you to, I don't know, not clip past zero. You know, like if they forced you to be at like negative, let's say 10 decibels, so you couldn't go that, so you couldn't release your music if you hit a certain spec. You know, if you uploaded in AIFF instead of .wave, they would reject you. They would tell you, no, you cannot make money off of your project. No, you cannot have certain freedoms. It would piss you off, wouldn't it? And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, because I'm tired of, I'll just put it this way. This guy couldn't handle me one-on-one inside of a fight, inside of a boxing ring, inside of an MMA ring. I would whoop his butt, and I'm not a very strong guy. So that's saying a lot, you know? So why the hell would I listen and be coerced, be forced by a little punk who couldn't beat me in a fight? That's what I have to say. This guy could not handle me one-on-one. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Let's see. So I've challenged him to debates. I've challenged him to arm wrestling matches. I've challenged him to hold town hall meetings so that people can have their concerns addressed. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So my new calling, this is again why, maybe I'll do a video about the audio mixing for these videos that I'll be shooting. I've already shot a few. Those of you who are familiar with my personal channel have seen some of them if you subscribe and watch. I'm not tolerating the BS. Let me hold on. I literally had this sitting, and I read this sometimes when I'm I'm doing yoga, we'll say. But this is the type of thing. Let me get it closer. This is the type of book that I understand history from. Primary sources. Not somebody's interpretation of history, but what the people who lived during those times actually wrote. And that's the only stuff worth a bang, by the way. Printed on acid-free paper. But they wouldn't have tolerated this. And if you live in the United States of America, I hope you're with me. I wouldn't force you to buy Universal Audio gear. I wouldn't force you to buy audio interfaces. I wouldn't force you to use Cubase or Reaper or Pro Tools. I wouldn't force you to do any of this stuff. You know why? Because choice is paramount. Choice is a great thing. Freedom is a great thing. And that's where I'm at today. And I'm sorry. I wish this was the year 2019, or even let's say 2011 again. And I wish all that I really cared about was making media, making videos, making audio, making mixes, making masters. I wish I was there again, because those were better times. Those were more peaceful times. My peace, my comfort, my tranquility has been abolished by the people who make more money than me, by the people who are weaker than me, by the people who unfortunately have more resources than me, the people that wouldn't mind sticking something to my head to force me into a cage. And I know that sounds a little crazy, but it's true. Again, I've had cops come to my house because of social media posts, because they're afraid of what I'm saying, because they're afraid of the truth. And I told them, if what I did is illegal, put the handcuffs on me right now, because I'd like to speak in a courtroom. And they didn't have the balls to do it, because they know I'm fucking right. Okay, this is why this stuff matters, okay? I was looking forward to going to the Audio Engineering Society convention in New York City. That's happening in 2 months, I believe. I'm not sure if it's happening. I haven't checked, because I'm just assuming it's going to be in New York City. If it's not in New York and it's still in October, I will go. Okay? I will go. And I wanted to cap off the 10 years of Real Home Recording with where I started. The Audio Engineering Society videos back in 2011 catapulted this channel to over 1,000 subscribers. And I do credit Gibson Guitars for that. They shared a video that we did on their website. And there was a couple others that also tweeted. But Twitter wasn't really that big back in 2011. It grew in popularity. I guess like maybe a year or two after that. But I don't even know if Real Home Recording had a Twitter account back in 2011. I'll have to double check on that. Anyway, I don't feel like going to New York City, and I don't even know if I can go to New York City because of one individual's rules. Not the city council of New York City saying this must be done, but because of one guy. One guy who I will not name, but his first name is Bill. His first name is Bill, and he is saying if you don't do a certain thing, you cannot do other certain things in New York City. I'm not going to New York City. They have lost my tourism dollars. They've lost my business. Because unless businesses stand up to this guy and tell him, we will not tolerate your BS, good sir, I will stay out of New York City until a new mayor is appointed and overturns this BS. Because that is what it is. As you guys know, I succumbed to the issues of this past year. And I will say this. Taking some of this, and surprisingly taking some of this, which that's not why I take this. I take this to sleep better. And there goes some things that are on the lunch table. But also taking some of this. Help me get through my sickness. And they can never take that fact away from me. Now, other people's bodies obviously are different. And in fact, if I didn't take that stuff, I would have been perfectly okay, because I am under the age of 40. I am under the age of 40, and we are not in the category of people that are I don't know the best way to put that. Are sensitive. I'm trying to find the word without the powers in charge kicking me off this live stream. We're not as sensitive as other people are. So our bodies are not as sensitive. So hold on, I'm gonna get. Wait, let me see something. Hold on. Oh, it's right there. Never mind. I didn't even have to move. But guys, here we go. So Topa says India is the outsource of everything. And also 2020 to 2021 is bad times. But you know what? Here's the thing. It's bad times because people aren't fighting back. If I try to get some people together today to make videos to send to the state police, and let them know that we would like them to start obeying their oaths of office, because every officer takes an oath of office before they are allowed to become a state trooper or a state police officer. And I couldn't find just one person to make a video along with me. That's pretty depressing. I don't know if people were afraid of showing their face. I don't know if people were afraid of showing their voices. I honestly don't know. And I don't blame them either. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm a business owner, so I have the freedom to say what needs to be said. Not everybody has that freedom because they're afraid to lose their jobs. They're afraid to lose their jobs if they don't get there. YouTube can hear what I'm saying, but they can't see what I'm saying. It's, again, I'm trying to find the words to say without getting booted. Um, these are the times in history that will define us. And we can either be little cowards or we can stand up and get back what we rightfully deserve. Being fearful has gotten us nowhere. And I'll be honest, when I first had what I got last year, I was scared because it was fear of the unknown. But I prepared myself for that darkness. I had a flashlight ready to go. I had this flashlight. I had gloves. I'm making figures of speech, by the way, guys. I had done enough reading to understand what needed to be done in case I was injured, we'll say. And again, I don't. I'll owe it partially to my genetics, and I'll owe it partially to the better eating habits, and also, again, what I already showed you on screen. That's all we need. That's all I needed. And also, I'll say that every single family member, every single friend that I'm aware of, with the exception of one, and that was because she is. That's a nice way to put this. She is medically obese. She weighs or weighed. I believe she lost weight over the past year. Um, she weighed over 300 pounds and did not handle her injury as well as my other friends did. So, you know, that's what happens. And this is also, by the way, this was a missed opportunity, especially in America, where we have a very big, no pun intended, obesity problem. I believe 60% of adults are medically overweight, and I think it's like 40 something percent are medically obese, which means they have a BMI, a body mass index number, over 30. I was in that category, guys. I was in that category from the year 2013 to the year 2021. Yeah, I was medically obese up until this year, and maybe I didn't look like it, but I was, and I know people have seen my face, but if you could have saw my stomach all those times, oh boy. And I'm still not like in great shape. I still have, I say 30 pounds to go, or really 27 pounds to go. I weigh 167 pounds. My goal weight is 140, which is great for my height. That's where I was when I was in good shape. Actually, at one point, I was down to 133 pounds, which may have been a little too small for me, but let's just say I liked what I saw in the mirror. I don't think I'll ever get to 135 or I don't think I'll ever get down that low again. I'm not trying to get down to a certain number past 140. My main indicator of health is in the gut. It's in the gut. Speaking of which, my gut problems have mostly been solved as far as I'm concerned. Um, it took these things called proton blockers, which your stomach acid creators, or I'm sorry, my stomach acid creators were creating too much stomach acid, and therefore it was causing me to have problems. And I believe the issues are mostly resolved. And because I'm not a doctor, I'm not going to give medical advice, but let's just say over the counter stuff did it. So if you look up proton blockers, you should be able to find that. But I think that's about it. I will see what people wrote on here, but um, oh, you know what I want to do? I want to hold on. I have to go find one. Oh, I had one in my back pocket. Maybe I shouldn't put this on, but here. Can you go through the stream? Can you go through the stream? No? Yes? Let me know. I can't believe we're going back to these things. It's ridiculous. I can't say it. I can't say it on this stream. Um, Fences don't keep mosquitoes out. There. I'll say it like that. Also, these, if anything, they are less effective than the pull-out method. Does everybody know what the pull-out method is? I don't think I can describe that on this live stream. It's true though. The pull-out method is 25% effective. Maybe a little less. So we're going back into school year, the school year coming up, and I feel for the kids. I have young family members who are going to be forced to wear those things. They need to rebel. They need to be the little kids that have the power and tell the teachers and administrators, hell no. That's how I feel about it. Because again, all it's going to do, I can't even say that. I can't say that. Yeah, I can't say that either. There's so many things I can't say. I shouldn't be restricted in what I'm saying, but it is their virtual property. Yeah, I'm all right. I am just. Thank you for asking, by the way, Underground Tech. Yeah, I'm all right. Actually, as far as like there's a pyramid of needs. The only one that I'm not meeting, I should say, the two that I'm not meeting, I do have higher financial goals. I'm not making enough money as it is. I was actually at 2020 was pretty good, all things considered. 2020 was pretty good. This year, not so much, and I am very concerned about because some of the what's the best way to put this? I am a remote collaborator, so I go to different places, and these different places have already started asking me private information that I do not want to disclose to them, that they have no business asking me. But the thing is, if you don't answer their questions, you don't get the business. That's causing me problems. And, you know, a man can only take so much bullcrap until he sets, I'll just put it like this. He sets things right. So if all of a sudden I don't have videos up here for like over a month, assume I'm either dead or in jail. And I'm not saying that to joke around. They will probably try to scrub this channel if that happens. They will probably try to scrub my other channels if that happens, because that's what they do. They don't want people knowing why somebody did what needed to be done. And they also, if they take somebody out, now I'm not talking about what's going to physically hurt somebody, I'm talking about verbal. My words are weapons because I understand that their force is a lot greater than mine, and I value my life. And also, people who are violent tend to, their message doesn't get out. Um, so it's best to keep your words verbal. I'm like Martin Luther King in a way, because this is a civil rights battle, whether people realize it or not. This is a battle for civil rights, and I think Martin Luther King handled things the best way that could be done. Although the Black Panthers had their purpose, and absolutely, I'll just put it this way: if there were enough people willing to do what BP did back then, what the BP did back then, I would probably join their ranks. But unfortunately, America is not the land of the brave anymore, and that's why we've lost being the land of the free. Um, and I'll say that to my grave, actually my urn, I should say, because I've been asked to be cremated. Um, but no, I'm sorry, guys. Like I wish I cared. I wish I cared. Not that I don't care, but like it's just hard to care about something that when there's bigger things going on. And I recorded a video the other day using Mix Analog's new 1176 compressor, which by the way is really good, and it's free for it's still free for like the next 2 weeks or maybe a week and a half. So mixanalog.com, 1176 revision A, revision D, revision G, all in one unit, and it's also stereo, by the way. Um, Very cool little piece of gear. I spent, I'm gonna say, a couple hours using it, trying it on different material. I recorded a 45-minute long screen capture, and I am just not motivated to edit it. And I'm like, it's just so tough. It's so tough to think and focus when there's just. I'm not trying to again like belittle what we do, but I mean, this is my part of my profession, and I don't even feel like I'm like so unmotivated to edit videos, unmotivated to find new business. All I want to do is travel down to my state's capital and raise hell. Um, Unfortunately, you know, that's going to get me in trouble, and I don't. I prefer again. I prefer my freedoms. That's why I'm talking about this stuff. And unless I have other people willing to go with me, I'm nothing. I'm one guy, and they think I'm crazy. But man, I couldn't even get one people to make a video, to make a selfie video, talking about this stuff. And again, I don't know if I think people are scared still. They're scared, but I tell you, you look back at those civil rights march videos. Those people were scared too. Those people were getting fire hosed. Those people were getting killed. Those people were getting um, beaten in the streets. Those people were fighting for their rights. Those were the brave Americans. Those were the last brave Americans that I'm aware of, besides maybe the police and firefighters that went into the World Trade Centers on 9/11 and knowing that they might die. And then they did die. That's bravery. Knowing you might die and still facing the opposition, that's balls. That's integrity. And there's not enough of that left. The American spirit is mostly dead. And those people in charge know it. Those people in charge know it. And I'm sorry I'm saying all this on a channel about audio engineering, but I have to tell the truth. Like it's just that's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. But again, as far as the rest of my life, oh my God, like I'm doing really good for the most part. Like, but this is getting in the way, and now it's starting to. It is harming my finances. It's harming my sanity, and I know the root cause of the problem but unfortunately, I can't like cut the cancer out of my life. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. People are listening and they're just following along with it, and it's causing division, it's causing segregation, it's causing just so much problems that are far beyond the the foundation of the safety measures that have been put into place. People who are more worried about safety don't deserve freedom. That's where I am, and but I am happy. Um, but it's a distraction. So maybe what I should do is force myself to be distracted by what I used to love, the hobbies I used to love, or in some cases, we'll say many years ago, before, well, let's say back when people still bought CDs, back when people still supported music. I mean, they still do support music, but they did it more so back then, and now it's more of a commodity, not a commodity, but a lost leader. So anyway, when people had bigger budgets, they could have, there was more people. You can ask the bigger audio engineers. They had more work 10 years ago, 12 years ago, whatever it was. And that's also a technology shift, and I actually appreciate that. That's why I made this channel, because I was tired of people BSing me about home studio stuff. And also I made this channel because I was looking for an outlet to talk about audio engineering, because I was, speaking of distraction, I would talk about tech things to musicians, and it became a problem. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Oh, thank you for those thumbs up. Thank you. So, all right. I think that there are a huge number of us that are beyond sick of all this ridiculousness. Thank you for saying that, Rowdy Dingo. Um, yeah, you said it. You said everything right there. You said everything. And I look at other countries, and I'm so glad that they are standing up for their rights. I'm assuming what the videos that I'm seeing are actually happening, like now and not years ago. I'm assuming that the masses in the streets. I mean, we know it for sure in New York City, people aren't tolerating this stuff. But for a city that has, I don't know how many millions of people, they really, it wasn't really as large of a crowd as I thought it would be. And that's the thing. It's like, again, I don't know if people are just, um, they're tired, and they, maybe they don't want, maybe they think if they just go along to get along, things will go back to normal. Well, let's take a look at what's going on now. Well, people were going along to get along, and we're getting back to where we were last year. I thought this was all over back in May, June, somewhere around there. But stores are starting to require things. And again, I don't understand why. They think they think they're going to stop the common cold. The common cold has been the what's it called, the not, is it rhinovirus? What's the scientific word for common cold, or what causes the common cold symptoms? You don't stop the flu. You don't stop the. Oh, here we go. This is why I might get taken. This video maybe taken off. You cannot stop. Once things are in circulation, there is no stopping them. Okay, that's just how it goes. Unfortunately, we have to live with this now. So we have to prepare for this. We can prepare by losing weight, staying in the best shape that we can by eating healthy foods. That's one way we prepare for this. We prepare that, by exercising because that helps our lungs get bigger. If you can exercise, if you have trouble walking or running, I still don't run, by the way. I did have to run twice. I ran home because a lightning storm started, and let's just say my knees and my feet and my ankles did not like that. So I still am in no condition to be running like I used to. Um, but you know, you this is the time to lose weight. This is the time to not to lose weight just because you look better, but because it's better for catching. If you catch an illness, you are more likely to tolerate it better, um, even if it's not the thing that I'm trying to avoid talking about. Um, I can tell you guys that losing 45 pounds was the best decision. I'm sorry, actually, I can say it's even more than that. So let's do the math on this. I was 215 pounds at my heaviest, okay, at my fattest. So I'm now 167. So that is 40. Actually, that would be 48 pounds. 48. I think it's 48. It's a little late, so I'm not really doing great at math right now. Um, but I do know that at 170, that was 45 pounds. So yeah, it has to be 48 pounds. So I've lost 48 pounds since we'll say February or January of 2020, and it's been the best decision of my life to stick with that. To keep eating healthy every day. And I'll tell you guys here, this. You know what? I can say these specifics. So every day for breakfast, I have multi-grain Cheerios. It's like one of the best things you can eat for breakfast. I mean, it has niacin. It has what do you call it? It has 100% zinc, 100% niacin, um, riboflavin. I don't even know what that is, but it has a lot of great vitamins and minerals. Then I take a men's health, or not men's health. What is that called? I take a multivitamin for men. Um, and then for lunch, I typically will eat a spinach wrap with spinach. Like, so the wrap itself has spinach in it, but then I eat spinach instead of lettuce because a lot of lettuce has no calorie or no nutritional value. Romaine lettuce is good. I think iceberg lettuce, not sure if that's the one that's empty, but anyway, spinach is like one of the best things you can put on a sandwich. So spinach, I do instead of mayonnaise, I put guacamole or mustard. I've avoided ketchup. I've tried. I have a day of cheating. Once a week, I do cheat, or maybe twice, if I'm being honest. But I've cut a lot of sugars out of my diet. I've cut a lot of just junk out of my diet, and that's how I lost weight. Now I did start walking when my foot stopped hurting for a mile a day, and then sometimes I do 2 miles a day. But it's not the exercise that calls me to get back in better shape. It's the diet. It is like 80% from what I've read and heard. 80% diet, 20% exercise. So even if I were bedridden, I could still lose weight. Although I wouldn't burn as many calories. I basically would have to eat like almost nothing if I were bedridden, which isn't good anyway. Anyway, I'm like rambling too much, guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Fight the good fight. If you think everything's okay, I'm sorry, but like I'll just put it this way: if they start forcing you to do other things against your will, is that the time you're gonna fight? Um, if this is about our safety, like why can't we take our own risk? Like I don't tell somebody, hey, you can't skydive. Hey, you can't drive a motorcycle because if you get into a car accident in a motorcycle, you're probably gonna die. I don't tell people that they can't have motorcycles. I don't tell people that they can't um, a bungee jump, or what's a I can't I don't tell people don't have sex with multiple partners without being tested with every single one of them. These are all high risk behaviors. But that's the thing, is like, where does this end? Where does this end? It ends when we tell them it ends. It ends when we stand up for our rights. And I hope if anybody's out there and maybe you were thinking you were alone in your thinking, you're not. There's a lot of people who are saying the same things. They're just being silenced, muted on a lot of platforms. So thank you all again for watching. And I will do my best to motivate myself to make some more audio engineering videos in the future, because I think that will help with my it's not really anxiety, it's more just I'm pissed off. So I'm not worried. I'm I have an anger that is unfulfilled, is the best way to put it. All right, going back up the list of chat, the chat list, the list of chat. Oh my goodness. Hey, Chris Styles, blessings to you too. Rowdy Dingo says it's sad and scary how many are just falling in line without questioning. I can't say that, and that makes it so much harder on the rest of us. Chris says, and yes, I agree with that, Rowdy, or Mr. Dingo. Um, this time I got a belly. LOL. I've been in the box, sitting, eating, and been a music bum. There we go. Yeah, man. Hey, you know what? I if I could go back in time, I would tell myself when I was still in my late 20s to take better care of myself when it comes to diet, because for way too long I ate basically the worst foods you could eat. Fast food, microwave food, and I'm not talking like here and there. I'm talking like every day. Now obviously I didn't just eat bad food, but for the most part I did. And I luckily I didn't keep going with my weight gain. Luckily I'm going backwards, and wow, now that I did the math again, and 48 pounds. 48 pounds. I'm proud of that, man. I'm proud of that. Like, damn. That's almost 50 pounds. 50 is a huge milestone. I have 2 pounds to go. I can do 2 pounds this week. I can get down to 165. You know? That's cool. That's cool. I didn't realize it was that much. Um, but yeah, I wish I didn't have to. I would. That means I gained 50 pounds that I didn't need to. You understand? Like, I am happy though. I'm very happy with myself that I was able to do that. Um, and I just want to pass that on to others and help. Maybe I'll do like a day or what I eat video, or something like that. Like, go along with me on my diet journey or something. I did mean to make a video about losing weight on my personal channel, but it may be beneficial to other people. I don't know. I want to keep this channel to mostly audio engineering. So, but I had to get all that stuff off my chest, guys. So thank you all for joining me late at night for this little talk. And stay safe out there, stay free, and stay motivated. That's make this life have purpose. Make it you don't have to constantly be doing something. That's another bad thing. You got to give yourself some rest, but do what makes you happy as long as it's legal. and and don't tolerate what others force you to do, because at the end of the day, if we comply, they win and we lose. And I just can't live with that. I can't live with that. So, if that means that at the end of the year I make $20,000 less than what I could have made, so fucking be it. It's not going to be easy, but the good thing is I've lived within my means. I've lived under my means. You know, I prepared myself for this day in the case that in the event that I had to have some financial sacrifice in my life, I was able to do that. And to be honest with you though, I probably am going to move out of this state. I can't wait until the year 2023 when the next governor takes office. I've considered running for governor myself. I've kind of put the feelers out there, but unfortunately, what I don't think there's enough people where I live where that messaging resonates with people. So I think I'm better off living where the message is already out there and people value freedom, and where there's going to be a lot more people who agree with what my foundational principles, which are more important than anything else. Um, but we'll see. Time will tell. I don't want to have to move, but if I have to, I have to. And ultimately, I'm not happy with the people in charge right now. I'm not happy with the police. I'm not happy with just the garbage going on. So you can only live amongst the bums for so long until you have to say it's time to clean up my act and get the hell out of Dodge. So again, thank you all for watching. If I believe I saw one more chat message, and there you go. Yeah. And by the way, guys, if anybody out, thank you all for joining me, and I'm glad. So Valid Core said, I just want to be heard. That's right, man. It's all about remembering. It's not these billionaires and millionaires. They don't live the life that most of us do. We're worried about being able to afford medical bills. We're worried about being able to pay the mortgage or pay the car note. They don't live in our life. They've made more money than some of us will make in a lifetime. Um, so I'm tired of the elites telling me what to do, unless they're paying me money. And in that case, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I don't have a problem with that, but you need to motivate me in some way. You need to give me some reassurance that if things go sideways, I'm not going to be left on my own to fend for myself. And that's not what I've been seeing from the people in charge. If anything, that's probably been my biggest, I don't want to say fear, but been my biggest, I was going to say inconsequential, but that doesn't make any sense. It's been my biggest reason for deciding on the path that I chose. So if they would like me to come to their side, they need to up the ante, to use a gambling term. And with that, I'm leaving, guys. Thank you all again for joining me. Thank you for the thumbs up. And hopefully next time I will have a much more positive broadcast. Actually, I am positive. I'm positive that things will get better. I'm positive that more people will wake up. I'm positive that the threshold, to use an audio term, the threshold will be passed, and more gain reduction will happen. Thank you all for watching.